The ceremony that brings us together today, namely the commissioning of the Semi-Krake Joint Border Post, is a strong sign of an active and fruitful cooperation within the framework of the integration of not only the ECOWAS member country, but also between all members of the countries of the continent. Indeed, Article 32 of the ECOWAS revised treaty states that member states undertake to give priority to infrastructure development and the integration of transport in order to facilitate the free movement of persons, goods, and services within the community. As we all know, achieving this objective has been particularly hampered by the difficulties encountered along the region transport corridors, which leads to unnecessary delay and increase in cost of transport and trade in West Africa. In order to eliminate this constraint, and on the instruction of the ECOWAS head of state and government, handed down in the relevant supplementary act, the ECOWAS Commission, in collaboration with member states, shall conduct a vast program of construction, equipment, and management of joint border posts between ECOWAS member states. The objective is to facilitate the free movement of people and goods while maintaining safe and secure border and respecting the national legal requirements of each member state. These posts are intended through the strengthening of cooperation between the department in charge of customs to ensure that we witness an increase in trade, a greater mixing of population, all of which will underpin and guarantee an accepted and successful integration. The objective is to build 9 joint border posts in the region.
The Nigerian ambassador to the Republic of Benin is confident the joint border posts would provide jobs to the teeming unemployed youth in Nigeria.
Yeah, the benefits are enormous in that, like the two presidents have actually mentioned, it's going to enhance and facilitate the economic integration of our economy, the whole of West Africa sub-region, but particularly the Lagos-Abidjan economic corridor. And we believe that it's going to give answer to issues of unemployment and issue of growth. But apart from that, we believe that it's going to enhance revenue generation for our country, because in the past, goods and other things were going through illegal and porous borders. But all those ones will be closed for now. And more importantly is the issue of security. We believe with what we have here, with the equipment, operational equipment we have here, there will be a total reduction of issues of movement of illegal arms. So we have the feeling that it will bring about prevention, reduction, combation, and neutralization of all threats to security.
One of the major issues that has bedeviled the border post has been that of illegal entry and trade between Nigeria and other neighboring countries. Therefore, the need for proper monitoring.
What we have done, even before the opening of this border, is also to carry out what we call sensitization program. I have done it even with the border officials of Nigeria here for more effective and efficient performance of their duty. And what we are going to do is also to carry it along to the community too, because they know that smuggling does not benefit anymore, because only few people benefit from smuggling. And one of the issues we are after is also to facilitate trade, legal trade between Nigeria and Benin Republic. And some of the hindrances, like NAFDAC number and all those things, are what we have been discussing. Because once you don't allow legitimate trade to foster, then illegal trade will foster. But as long as we allow them to go through the border without too much hitches, then we believe that illegal channels will be reduced, because the differences between the legal and the porous are very marginal. So, and if our border officials, particularly, if they are efficient and more effective, it will be difficult. We are not saying that our community will not try, but it will be difficult for them.
You're going to have, two officials or a team of officials from 2 different countries, and increased training, better training, and better oversight, and and these are some of the things we're trying to put in place. And of course, changing the mindset, changing the attitude. I think you're quite right. It's the people that have to be worked on as well. It's not just about gadgets and equipment, but but that's all part of it. But the important thing is to have this structure that promotes sub-regional integration. We talk about ECOWAS, we talk of free movement, but there's so many bottlenecks, So it was absolutely essential that we start taking concrete steps to remove the non-tariff barriers that exist in making ECOWAS, a reality, that responds to the vision of the founders of ECOWAS.
And the training is not a one-day affair. We will continue to train our officers. Anybody posted to such kind of location will be trained before you assume duty. Officers who misbehave, who violate the rules of ECOWAS, will remove them or discipline them, even rank them. In this place, we will continue to monitor transparency because it's open. And I assure you that it will be done in line with the directive of Mr. President. If you talk about porous border, we have changed the way we do our patrol. Last month, we launched forward border patrol base in Jibia, and there is one in Idiroko, one in Shaki, and one in Ekpong. What we are doing is that we are changing patrol pattern to be on the street. We want them to patrol at the flank of the borders. If we continue doing this, we provide accommodation for them, vehicles, communications, things will change. So I assure you we are tackling the problem of the border.